Hey there, everyone. How you doing today? So I wanted to create this video in response to a video I saw Flip Anything put out about Graham Stephan and Meet Kevin, basically talking about fake gurus, nobody sees a profit, all of that. I have reached out to Flip Anything to see if we can't get him on this channel. I think one of the things that I should do is put this video out there, so hopefully he sees it. Because again, his point is, hey, I'm not going to waste time with people who can't show profits. So again, on this channel, I've been doing this for 20 years. Have a rental portfolio of size enough to retire, replace a couple of incomes, but also have flipped some properties. So what I have done is put together just a real quick sampling of properties. If he would like to reach out to me and get addresses and cross-check and do all of those things, he is welcome to. I'd even share my tax return with him if he needed to see that. But what I wanted to do is just take a smattering of properties that I have bought and sold over the years. I do think one of these I kept as a hold, but 4 of them that I've sold, so you can actually see the details. A couple of them are things I bought years ago, right? It's kind of the start of our journey. One of them was during the crash, and then I think 3 of them were flips here in the last couple of years. So again, this video is for Flip Anything and his inspiration to have, real estate folks on YouTube show profits. So without further ado, let me bring up this presentation real quick. So again, I want to thank Flip Anything for doing what he's doing. I like him, very casual, kind of just puts it out there. Not flashy, none of that stuff. It's kind of my speed, if you know what I'm talking about. So again, this is my response for Flip Anything because again, I'm trying to get him on this channel. Love to talk to him about what's going on and see if we can't really talk about folks doing deals. So here's the first one. I've talked about this property a lot. It's in my book. It's our first property we ever bought. It is on Norris Drive. I've talked about that a lot. It's in the book. And really this one here wasn't a flip. This was something we bought back in 2002, December 11th, 2002. It was the first house we ever bought, 107 grand. Why this is important is because when you watch your market, you can understand when stuff gets overpriced. And again, we sold it at 264, and technically we exchanged it. What you see in this is it ultimately was foreclosed on at 75. And then resold at 153 in the last couple of years. The reason this one is on here is, again, it's my first property. I've talked about it a lot. But really what I'm trying to highlight here is when you know your market, like I talk about, you can get out. And, we took this equity, moved it into a small apartment building that we still own today. And as you can see, at least as it retraded in 2017, it's still 100 grand under market. So again, learn your market. Buy and hold forever, not my strategy, right? I'm going to buy and hold, but if you want to overpay, I am happy to sell it. And again, in 2019, that meant selling some apartment buildings because people wanted to overpay. So again, this was a buy and hold, 1031 exchange, took all that equity, moved it into an apartment that we still own today. Next, this was a flip property. That we bought in 2018 on April 26th. We bought it for $46,500. This was a true slumlord property. This had crackheads or meth heads inside. It had been occupied by meth heads for months, and there were 20 some odd people living there with no plumbing and electricity. It was disgusting. We spent well over $60,000 on this, turning it into a pride of ownership, and then ultimately sold it in July, just seemingly 3 months later. Again, this is a property I've talked a little bit about early on in this channel where we got lucky, where we had police come and help us vacate the property because, again, meth heads were occupying it. It was in a great neighborhood. It was a shame what had happened. But again, we basically ripped it down to the studs and rebuilt it. And ultimately, it was in a good area. And sold for $231,000. So a very good profit. Next up, this is a property we still own, right? So this is one we bought during the depth of the crash. I think it was, 2009. We bought it for $41,000. It was being advertised for, or at, 50 grand or so. We ultimately bought it for 41 because no buyers were around. Buyers disappeared. And as you can see there, we are now renting the property for $1,400. This is a property we do own free and clear. And again, it's collecting $1,400 rent, 4-bedroom, 2-bath in a nice part of town in the Tower area. So again, very happy with this long-term hold. And again, you got to know what you own, right? You have some stuff that you're going to hold forever. If this property maybe got to like 250 to 300, we might sell. But again, we're happy to have long-term buy and hold rentals. Here was a cosmetic flip that we did. We bought it right at the end of April 2018 for $115,000. We spent about 20 to 23,000. I think it was 22 and change on the property, and then ultimately resold that for $181,000 just about 4 months later. So again, this would be a cosmetic flip where that first one was a total disgusting property. And then we had a duplex that we flipped. This was a particular property that one unit was nice and one unit was trashed. So we ultimately picked this up for $110,000 in May. We needed to vacate the bad unit just because it's hard to remodel around a tenant. We did that, spending about $30,000 or $35,000, and then ultimately resold the duplex for $195,000 just over 4 months later. So again, just want to record track record, talk about things we've done in the past, we are doing today. I want to thank Flip Anything for holding people accountable, for putting it out there. It is a shame, in my opinion, that people are talking about stimulus, right? People are talking about stimulus and making thousands of dollars a day, talking about things that have no chance of passing. And, but that's the world we live in, and kudos to them. And heck, if you can make 5 stimulus videos a day and get paid $10,000, the only answer is keep doing that, right? So it is a shame. I do believe ultimately this will come back to true real estate investors, and there will be a time where the true real estate investors like Flip Anything and One Rental at a Time channels take off. But hopefully, again, Flip Anything sees this, and we could get him on this channel, and we can really talk about what's going on. Again, Flip Anything, thanks, man. Take care of yourself. Keep doing what you're doing.